I'm Tara Rochford from Tara Rochford Nutrition, and today we're talking all about plant-based protein. So the topic of plant-based protein has come up so many times in my life lately. My clients have been asking me about it, friends at the gym have been asking me about it, and people have been messaging me about it on Instagram. In short, people want to know how they can get more protein into their diet without necessarily consuming more meat. So why is protein important? Protein is a macronutrient, just like carbohydrates and fat. And it's important that we eat a balance of carbs, protein, and fat throughout the day, almost every day. So protein helps us feel full. There are several studies showing that when people consume more protein, they feel more full and satisfied without necessarily consuming more food. And when we feel full and satisfied, we're able to have better mental clarity, focus on important things, and we feel less hangry, which is hungry plus angry, and it's never a good combination. Protein is also important for strong and healthy muscles. So protein is the foundation of our muscles, and we need to make sure that we're consuming enough throughout the day to keep our muscles healthy. And if you're incorporating strength training or resistance training into your workout routine, then consuming protein will help you build more muscle. So when you're eating protein, I always recommend consuming it in a variety of meals and snacks throughout the day rather than one large meal or one large snack. This is going to allow you to truly enjoy the foods that you're eating, eat a wide variety of foods, and get everything that your body needs. Plant-based protein options. Seitan. Seitan is a protein made from gluten, which is the protein naturally occurring in wheat. Oftentimes it has the flavor and texture of meat when it's prepared. Seitan contains about 25 grams of protein per 3.5 ounces, and you can find it in the refrigerated section of most health food stores or grocery stores with a health food section. To prepare seitan, you can saute it, bake it, or grill it. And because it's made from gluten, if you have celiac disease or non-celiac gluten sensitivity, you're going to want to avoid this plant-based protein option. Hemp seeds. So hemp seeds are the little seeds that come from the same plant that make marijuana, but don't worry, these little seeds are not going to get you high. Hemp seeds contain 10 grams of protein in just 1 ounce, as well as healthy fats and a ton of minerals. These little seeds don't have much flavor and have a pretty soft texture, so you can easily add them to things like oatmeal, yogurt bowls, smoothies, salads, or even sprinkle them on your toast. Chickpeas. Chickpeas are also known as garbanzo beans, and these are legumes that contain a good amount of plant-based protein. A 1 cup serving of chickpeas contains 15 grams of protein. I love adding chickpeas to things like chili, soups, salads at lunchtime, tuna salad, making my own hummus, and I even have a recipe for chickpea blondies on the blog. Lentils. Lentils are also a legume, and they surprisingly don't take that long to prepare. They typically only take about 20 minutes, but following the package directions is going to be your best bet. 1 cup of lentils contains about 18 grams of protein and a good serving of fiber. Pairing protein and fiber together is a great way to keep you feeling full for a long time. You can use lentils in chili, soups, salads, ethnic dishes, veggie burgers, or anywhere else you want. I've even put them in brownies, and don't worry, I'll link to that recipe. Nuts and seeds. There are many different types of nuts and seeds that you can eat whole, or you can eat them ground up into nut or seed butter. A 1 ounce serving of nuts and seeds or nut or seed butter contains about 5 to 7 grams of protein, depending on the type of nut or seed used. You can spread the nut or seed butter on toast, use it to make creamy sauces, sprinkle the whole nuts or seeds in salads, or use as a garnish to entrees, or you can just eat them by the palmful. Tofu, tempeh, and soybeans, or edamame. So tofu and tempeh, as well as edamame, are all products made from soy. Tofu is also known as bean curd, and the soybean curds are actually pressed together in a process that's kind of like making cheese. Tofu has a really neutral flavor and takes on the flavor of the ingredients it's cooked or served with. Tempeh is made from fermented soybeans that are pressed together to make a patty. You can bake or saute tofu or tempeh and use them in a variety of dishes from stir fry to veggie burgers. You can even put silken tofu in a smoothie. Edamame are young soybeans that have a subtly sweet but earthy flavor. They're usually steamed or boiled and can be eaten all on their own, mixed into stir fries, salads, or soups. Tofu contains about 15 grams of protein for 3.5 ounces. Tempeh contains about 18 grams of protein for 3.5 ounces. And soybeans, or edamame, contain about 10 grams of protein for 3.5 ounces. Quinoa. So we eat quinoa like a grain, kind of like rice. But it's actually called a pseudo cereal, which means that it's not a grain at all. It's a seed. 1 cup of quinoa contains about 8 grams of complete protein. You can use quinoa in breakfast bowls similar to oatmeal, bake it into muffins or other baked goods, make summer salads with tons of herbs and fresh vegetables, put it into soups or casseroles, and the list goes on and on. You can really put quinoa into anything you can think of. Nutritional yeast. Nutritional yeast, also called nooch, is a deactivated strain of yeast that comes in yellow, powdery flakes just like this that has a really cheesy or umami flavor. Just 1 ounce of nutritional yeast contains 14 grams of protein. You can sprinkle nutritional yeast on popcorn, salads, put it in mashed potatoes, homemade pesto, or wherever you want to add a yummy, cheesy flavor. It's important to note that there are many foods that contain a combination of carbohydrates, protein, and fat. And just because something isn't mentioned on this list doesn't mean that it doesn't contain protein. These are just foods that I enjoy eating, many of my clients enjoy eating, I use frequently in recipes, and I think they're pretty easy to find at the grocery store or online. If you have a question, don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section down below. And make sure to check out the blog post that I have that goes along with this video because I've got links to a few tasty recipes. Also, don't forget to hit subscribe so that you can stay up to date on all of the delicious information that I'm sharing. Hit like, share this video with a friend, and I can't wait to see you all again soon.